Welcome to PM plus Dev Alignment, the Architecture Review Workshop, part of the AWS for Product Teams series. This episode focuses on how to run a structured architecture review, ask the right questions, and align your team before writing any code. This program is brought to you by the Series of Thoughts team.
We'll cover two key perspectives: the PM angle, focusing on facilitation and surfacing costs, and the dev angle, emphasizing translating technical trade-offs into business language. We'll also look at two practical resources: the AWS Well-Architected Tool and the AWS Architecture Center. The core insight is that architecture reviews are about alignment, not gatekeeping. The most effective reviews happen before anything is built, surfacing assumptions and trade-offs when they are still cheap to change. This shifts the conversation from technical interrogation to strategic planning. Many teams skip reviews due to pressure to move fast, treating them as a luxury. However, this incurs a hidden tax of unplanned rework and leads to alignment debt where product requirements get lost. Skipping reviews costs more time downstream. A product manager's role is to represent the user and the business. This means anchoring to outcomes, surfacing assumptions about usage and load, asking about trade-offs, and identifying future friction points in the roadmap. Here are 4 essential questions a PM should always ask. What happens when this fails? To address resilience. What does this cost at scale? For volume implications. How long to change this later? To assess coupling. And what are we over-engineering? To challenge premature complexity. Framing your questions is crucial to maintain a healthy collaboration. Curiosity-framed questions, like asking to understand a trade-off or validate an assumption, surface risk without making engineers feel defensive or audited. The development team's challenge in a mixed audience review is translation. Technical precision is important to engineers, but business impact matters to everyone else. The most effective architects translate technical decisions into business language fluently. Technical trade-offs have business outcomes. Latency affects user experience and conversion rate. Redundancy ensures uptime and customer trust. Tight coupling slows releases, while a stateless design enables elastic scaling and cost optimization. 3 equations every PM should know simplify the business language of architecture. Latency equals user experience. Redundancy equals uptime SLA. Tight coupling equals slow releases. These frame technical decisions in terms of business impact. Chapter 2 focuses on using the AWS Well-Architected Tool in review mode. This tool isn't just for audits. It creates a shared vocabulary that helps PMs and engineers discuss quality attributes like reliability, cost, and security using a common framework. The AWS Well-Architected Framework organizes best practices across 6 pillars: operational excellence, security, reliability, performance efficiency, cost optimization, and sustainability. Each pillar offers a lens for evaluating design decisions without making it personal. In review mode, the Well-Architected Tool guides your team through questions across all 6 pillars, identifying risks and generating a prioritized improvement plan. PMs can use these pillar questions as a pre-review checklist and the plan as backlog input. The Well-Architected Tool acts as a neutral referee. For PMs, it provides the authority of the framework to raise concerns without needing to out-engineer developers. For engineers, it explains design choices to a business audience in terms of addressing high-risk items. The AWS Architecture Center is a valuable reference library. It contains public architectures, patterns, and best practices. Use it before your review to understand what good looks like for your architecture type, enabling you to ask informed questions. The Architecture Center is used differently by PMs and engineers. PMs use reference architectures to understand the expected pattern and identify deviations. Engineers use them to establish a baseline and intentionally justify any divergence from recommended patterns. Chapter 3, Running the Architecture Review Workshop. A formal review session doesn't need to be long. A focused 60 to 90-minute working session can align the team more efficiently than weeks of asynchronous communication. We recommend a 5-stage workshop format. It starts with context setting by the PM, 0 to 10 minutes, followed by the architecture walkthrough, 10 to 30 minutes. Then comes a structured Q&A, 30 to 60 minutes, risk and trade-off capture, 60 to 80 minutes, and ends with an alignment check, 80 to 90 minutes. Before the review, share the diagram 48 hours ahead, and the PM should prepare the outcome statement. During the review, use well-architected pillars, assign a note taker, and focus on data. Afterward, Publish a decision record and convert risks into backlog items. Architecture reviews can go wrong. Watch out for review as approval gate, where the focus is on passing rather than quality. Avoid going too deep too early into implementation details. The PM should not be a silent observer, and critical documentation should not result in no written output. Chapter 4. How to read an architecture diagram as a PM. You don't need to be an expert in every icon. Focus on the arrows and relationships between components. This reveals the flow, coupling, and failure points of the system. Look for warning signs like single arrows, everything connecting to one central box, and missing mention of monitoring. Good signs include multiple availability zones, cues for decoupling, and clear, labeled data flow. Here is a quick PM cheat sheet of common architecture patterns. Monoliths are fast to start, but risk single points of failure. Microservices are scalable, but increase operational complexity. Understand the risks associated with event-driven, serverless, and multi-tier architectures. Chapter 5. Surfacing hidden costs before they surface themselves. Architecture decisions determine 80% of operational costs. PMs must ensure cost implications are visible, as engineers often optimize for capability over spend. Always ask, what's the cost at current versus projected scale? Are we paying for idle capacity? What are the data transfer costs? And where does over-engineering add cost without value? These questions drive intentional trade-offs. Premature complexity is a common and expensive failure mode. Signs include more services than engineers, infrastructure for 10x scale without justification, and features added because we might need this later. PMs should push for the simplest initial architecture. Chapter 6. Making architecture reviews a team habit. The goal is a shared reflex, where product and engineering discuss architecture before implementation. Consistency in holding these reviews is key to long-term alignment. Trigger an architecture review for any new system or service, a significant scale change like 5x traffic increase, an unexpected cost spike, or a major roadmap commitment that requires significant investment. The key takeaway, a PM asking the right questions, is invaluable. Review early, use a shared vocabulary like the well-architected framework, translate technical trade-offs into business impact, and always document the final decisions. Up next in Module 3, Building and Shipping with CI/CD on AWS. We'll cover source control, branching strategies, and continuous delivery, starting with AWS code commit. Join us to align on the execution side of product development.